I was going to play a bit of piano, but Nod took so long getting served, I thought I'll just scrap the support act and we'll get him straight on. This chap I met 10, 11 years ago, along with two other lovely friends, Rory Bremner and Hattie Hayridge, and it's taken me all this time to get him to come back and perform for us, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you are too. Without further ado, put your hands together, give a big, warm Widcombe welcome to the stage to Mr. Ian Shaw.
It's fantastic to be here, it really is. I haven't done this for ages. Nothing works. Well, more of that later. Yeah, seriously, thank you very much for coming. It's a mixture of, it's a ragbag of stuff this evening, because haven't things changed in a year, 18 months really. So I'm going to give you some songs. I'm also going to talk to you, and you can talk back at me. You don't look like you're going to heckle. But feel free.
We could surprise you.
What's that?
We could surprise you.
Can I have the keyboard on? That would be good.
I forgot to say, you might want to press on the keyboard because it turns itself off. I also forgot to say the bar's open as well throughout, because we're not precious, are we, Ian?
Do I have to do the bar as well, or just the keyboard?
No.
That's all the jazz you're going to get this evening. The rest of it's just fucking bollocks. Is that all right? Pete Paradise put up a parking lot, a pink hotel, a boutique and a swinging hot spot. Don't it always seem to go? Don't know what you got till it's gone. Pete Paradise, they put up a parking lot. Took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. Charged all the people $1.50 just to see them. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. The big paradise and they put up a parking lot. Hey farmer, don't give me DDT now. Don't give me spots on my apples. Leave me on the birds and the bees, please. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. Pay Paradise and they put up a parking lot. Guitar solo. Still counting. Late last night I heard the screen door slam. Now you see the thing is, I'm testing you, I'm in control, because if you'll clap nothing, I'm onto a winner this evening. Late last night I heard the screen door slam. A big yellow taxi came and took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. The big paradise in the butt of a parking lot. Late last night I heard the screen door slam. Big yellow taxi came and took away my old man. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. The big paradise in the butt of a parking lot. Big paradise and they put up a parking lot. Nobody says it like Joni Mitchell. Hey, Paradise in the butt of a parking lot. She's on the record, she goes, hey, Paradise in the butt of a parking lot. Oh. Thank you. So as I said, this was originally called, 18 months ago, it was called Songs from the Homepage, because I thought that was a really good idea. I don't own a computer, which people think is kind of odd. I do have a phone, however, so I thought I'll just keep it all on the phone. The computer's just a bit too much. I tweet from my phone. I've got an Instagram account, which I don't really do. Someone else does it for me. My nephew calls it an Instagrandad account. But like most of the world, and I'm going to do a little test here, I have the dreaded Facebook. Who's got it in this room? Who's on Facebook? Yeah, it's normally about, you're quite old though, aren't you, like me? You haven't at all. Not one of you on the same table. Are you in a bubble? No. Well, the thing about Facebook, or the pensioners forum, as my nephew calls it, but it's massive still. It's massive. Never mind last week's mega hacking thing. Facebook lives in your slippers. It lives right in your slippers. I can't chat to my sister on the phone, which I've been doing all the way through lockdown. She lives 200 miles away, but we're very close. I can't tell her on the blower that I need a wee because, I can't say I'll call you later, I'm just going to go for a piss. Because if I scroll down on Facebook, you're going to have to, you don't know this, do you? And I think you're in a very free state of not knowing this. Do you read more? No? Cool? Yeah. Cool. You drink a lot. Now, the great thing, the combination of drinking and Facebook is, as you all know, not a good one at all. Anyway, these algorithms, they know that I'm a middle-aged, bald homosexual. I mean, again, more of that later, because I'll say, Jill, I'm going for a wee, and then bang, 3 adverts down, and I am told the following. I'm told that my sagging groin can be firmed up with, this is all true, this is from yesterday, tackle bag. Boxer trunks, briefs or slips that deliver style, support and ultra comfort. $39.95. I can think of a much better way and a cheaper way of getting all that shit, I tell you, at 59 years old. And then it says, the next one says, love your balls. This is true. This is Facebook. This isn't a young thing. We all know this shit, right? Tackle Bag's innovative pouch design offers more support and better airflow to your boys than a long-time partner. Now, so I mean, call me old-fashioned, but if I'm single at the moment, but if I'm out with my long-time partner, I'm not going to suddenly, in the middle of Waitrose or Sainsbury's, say, excuse me, darling, could you just support these while I reach for some carrots? It's not going to happen, is it? So this is akin, I think, to sort of checking the balance on your Skoda tyres or something like that. Thank you, Facebook. Every word of this ditty is from the 3 links to modern men's underwear. So bear with. I didn't write any of this. I just compiled it deftly for your appreciation this evening. Here we go. It's got a kind of a dark, harmonic underbelly to it, much like my boys. If that's my sister, could you tell her that I'll give her a ring later? I need a pierce. A palace for your phallus. Nobody's eating, are they? Interior. Posterior. Unshackle the tackle. Tiny boys, you're not inferior. Our boxers treat your crown jewels like the royalty you are. Royalty. Free exchange for 30 days, a snugger fit. Wait for this one. 2 designs eliminate the sweat down under. I don't think they mean Australia, by the way. Athletic cut. When all your sense of content goes asunder. I'm vaguely following the style of Andrew Lloyd Webber here. It might change to Sondheim in a minute. Good for your balls and good for the planet. Nothing droops or falls in your microware. How can it? Say ta-ta to chafing. So long to infection. And a tiny little rubber ring gift to prolong your erection. Like it more brief, less is more. Pro without pouch. Easy pour. I've no idea what that means at all, easy pour. Need something larger for your big banana willy. Or some definition for your cute pink chili. I'm sorry, folks, I can't even go there. I used to work in a piano bar in Amsterdam. I used to play 4 sets a night from 11:30, just work it out. It was a long shift, but I kind of loved it and kind of hated it. It was quite hard work. But every Friday night there was a beautiful woman that used to sit there, and she was completely ageless. Later I found out she was in her mid-70s. She looked about 32. She was amazing. And she was surrounded constantly by very, very beautiful looking young men. And I was so sort of innocent in those days. I was 21 years old, one of my first gigs abroad. And it took me 3 weeks to realize that the piano bar was in fact a brothel. And there was a big cover-up, so they had to have music, you know, so the police wouldn't, as if the police didn't know the police were probably, you know. But this woman, this beautiful woman, she disappeared one Friday, and I'd been watching her for about 3 or 4 weeks with these gorgeous-looking men. And she always had the same brown, jangly drink, and she smiled. She very rarely spoke, but all these men came and went, and I never really knew her story. And that one of the things that she always asked for was, you know, tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema, and I hate that song. And the whole place was full of people that wanted the worst songs ever written. I mean, if you're going to go on a stag night in Amsterdam and go to a piss up in a piano bar, the last thing you need really is The Streets of London, a song about homelessness. But that's exactly what those lads wanted. So, have you seen the old man? Oh, God, how can you tell me? Oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. So, this song is her song. So, God, do you know what? There's a hell of a long way between that bit of the piano and this bit of the piano. Tall and slender like an Apollo, he goes walking by, and I have to follow him, the boy from Tacarembo, la tombe del fuego, Santa Malepa, Taquetas, la Junta del Sol y Cruz. I have a Manhattan perfect, please. Thank you, darling. And when we meet, I feel I'm on fire and I'm breathless every time I inquire how are things in Tacarembo, la tombe del fuego, Santa Las Malepas, Taquetas, la Junta del Sol y Cruz. Why, when I speak, does he vanish? Why is he acting so clannish? I wish I could understand Spanish. When I tell him I think he's the end, he giggles a lot with his friend. slender moves like a dancer, but I never get any answer from the boy from Tacarembo, la tombe del fuego, Santa las malepataquetas, la junta del sol y cruz. I get the blues. Why are his trousers vermilion? His trousers are vermilion. Why does he claim he's Castilian? He says that he's Castilian. Why do his friends call him Lillian? And I hear at the end of the week he's leaving to start a boutique. Though I smile, I'm only pretending, 'cause I know today's the last I'll be spending with the boy from Tacarembo, la tombe del fuego, Santa Malepataquetas, la junta del sol y cruz. Tomorrow he sails, he's moving to Wales, to live in Llanfairpwll, Gwyngi, Gorechu'n Drobwll, Atlanta, Silio. Go, go, go! Go, go, go! So I open up the Facebook page again, and under an open invitation to a socially distanced funeral barbecue. I'm not kidding there. I went to the one funeral online. It was dreadful, dreadful, dreadful. It was an old boy who lived 4 doors away from me in London, 92 years old, a really funny guy. And I put the tie on and the shirt and the jacket. We got the order of service. He was complete atheist, but I think he conned a lot of people into thinking that he wasn't, so he'd get a good funeral. And we got this through the post. So we were sitting there, about, 30 of us, I think, and 15 at the actual funeral. It was a very beautiful thing. Shirt, tie, jacket, and I suddenly thought, I've got no trousers on in this funeral. I mean, who would have thought that could have been possible 18 months ago? So, you scour a couple of more ads. There's one for male incontinence, and then there's another for over 50 life insurance, and that one comes up all the time, and it's scary because I am over 50. But one thing is very clear here: at least I won't be pissing myself at my own fucking funeral, which is good. So one of Keir Starmer's kids has tested positive, so that's the Prime Minister, the Health Secretary, the leader of the opposition. I mean, this is Kafka, isn't it? This isn't what we're used to at all. It's not like when I was in 4G at the high school, when half the teachers were off with the shits after Mrs. Price the pork had given a Tupperware party, and there was a warm prawn roulade, apparently, which horrified my mother. Anyway, Mrs. Price the pork, it's not what you think. She was married to the butcher. I'm from North Wales, which is kind of like the rest of Wales, but with Liverpudlians in it. And I'm from a tiny drug town with a big fishing problem called Llanfairpwll, Gwyngi, Gogeruch Drobwll, Llantysilio, Gogogoch. So good, they named it once. But can you imagine in the piano bar? Start spreading the news. I knew this one again. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. Oh no, that one again, so that's not going to work at all, isn't it? Oh dear me. So good, they named it once. I mean, thank God they did. Can you imagine, though? Can you imagine? Anyway, Mrs. Owen the pork, who married the butcher, Mrs. Jones the post, who married the plumber. So there was obviously a little bit of historical shit there that Mrs. Jones hadn't shared with us. And my mother used to sort of mouth at me in the front room as she used to walk past with someone else. That's her fancy man. I mean, that's a term that is not used. Are there any fancy men in here tonight? Or fancy women? And my favourite as a homosexual 7-year-old was Mr. Jenkins the Whig. Unmarried, and he was the RE teacher, and we absolutely loved him. Religious education in North Wales was kind of a spin-off of Sunday school. It was very bizarre. I went to Sunday school in North Wales, which was basically because my parents couldn't afford paper or crayons, so I used to nick them, and they knew that, and I'd bring them home. And my sister and I were confirmed. It was a Presbyterian church that had previously been nonconformist and then went back to, I think it was, what was it called? Presbyterian, nonconformist, United Reformed. Hey! So in the 70s, United Reformed just meant guitars, brushed denim dungarees, and really shit singing in the church, making us all sing with no harmonies. It was just horrible. But there was the Reverend Cole used to fling his arms out and he'd say things like, "Hello, children." And we'd think, even in those days, we'd be thinking, really? No. Hello, children. And then he'd go on about, when you leave today, acknowledge God's beautiful things around you. But whatever you do, if you're ever feeling low, always be very careful, and listen to the prairie tortoise. Now, the prairie tortoise, really? When you're 7 years old? A little tortoise just going through the prayer he taught us, not the fucking prairie tortoise, for God's sake. So listen, Mr. Jenkins, the Whig, Rupert, we found out, it's really kind of quite creepy in it was in those days, when you find out your teacher's first names, and you either really use them and sort of bastardize it and you're horrible to them, or you just think, oh, that's really nice, isn't it? And even at 7 years old, all the way to 16, in fact, RE, in Welsh, I used to like this man. I just thought he was a good man. And pissed his arseholes every Friday night, up the Mill Tavern, he'd do his weekly Shirley Bassey. What did you say?
What, you or him?
No, not me. No. Yeah, 7, yeah. 9, I started doing that. Cider, round the back door. And he'd be doing a Shirley Bassey drag act. And I loved it. I just loved it when I was a kid. It was just ace. And the poster, God, my sister's probably got it somewhere. There was a brilliant picture of him. And it said, "Rupert Jenkins is Shirley Bassey." Now, as an existentialist 9-year-old, let's say, I used to think, oh, that's nice, isn't it? Because I used to love the Shirley Bassey show every Saturday night, and she used to do these exotic locations and things. Rupert Jenkins, the Whig, is Shirley Bassey. And then it said, "A man, a song, a dress." So on Monday morning, first thing, either freezing cold in Wales or really hot like now, Rupert Jenkins, immaculately dressed, comb over, kipper tie, not a whiff of Shirley Bassey in sight, and 300 really ratty little Welsh kids crammed into this massive, smelly sports hall. I mean, sport. We didn't do sport in North Wales. We did pointless running all over the town, which was called cross country, or we did bad rugby. Now, it was called bad rugby in our heads. It was just kicking the shit out of each other, really. There seemed to be no rules. And bad because it was taught by... Dun, da, 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 da. Here we go. See if I can find the actual... I'll do it later, maybe. There's an organ on here somewhere. Said no one in Bath at this club. Hammond the organ. He was called Ambrose Hammond because Ambrose was his real name and also Hammond was his real name. And now a Hammond organ is an organ, and he doubled up as the organist in morning prayers. And he was also the rugby coach. He had now listen to this, he had one real leg and a prosthetic leg which had no bend in it whatsoever. Rugby, strangely enough, was okay. But the pedals on the organ were not, because he couldn't straighten one leg. So he could do so his right foot was a blur doing the pedals. And this right leg was sort of sticking out like a sort of indicator in 1967. Eventually, I think someone might have had a word with him and said, why don't you take the leg? The kids won't mind. They won't even notice. Won't even notice! So off came the leg for assembly. And it was stashed in this awful side room of the sports hall that it had windows and no electric lights. And in that room, this is every word of this is lockdowns made me remember. I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember this year. I can even remember the smell of the paint and everything. In that room, there was the organ, which had to be rode out, 150 pogo sticks. What was that about? Pogo sticks? You don't see that. You can't download that, can you? And 40 rugby balls. Now, quite why 40, I never really knew, because there was only ever one needed in any sort of session on the rugby pitch. But Ambrose Hammond's leg was also in there, because it was dark in there. And I knew that he didn't feel very good about that. We kids, we had a rotor system for the shifting of this huge organ into the main hall, which was so life-threatening, I can't tell you. This tiny little room with all the pogo sticks and the balls and the organ. It was like entering soft play designed by David Cronenberg. And it challenged every sense, and it promoted a sort of visceral body transformation in me. There was infection, technology, dark magic, and the intertwining of the psychological with the physical. That was that room. As was Rupert Jenkins, the Whigs, hymn singing. Now, where the weekend hadn't quite erased the ghost of Friday night's pissed up Shirley Bassey act, and Gary Yates and me, we shouldn't have, but we used to rewrite the hymns to conjoin Jenkins, the Whigs, twofold persona. This is an organ sound of this. I've got to find it. Where is it?
Go right from piano.
Do you want an organ?
Yeah.
Go right.
One that says other.
Other. Telling me. Ooh. Right, I've got it. Turn it down a bit. All things bright and beautiful, beware his heart of Goldfinger. All things wise and kiss me, honey, honey, kiss me, honey, honey, kiss me, finger. To stimulate and tease me, don't leave us in the night. Each little flower that opens, each diamonds are forever shining bright. I don't pop my cork for every guy with the Midas touch. I love you, hate you, love you, hate you, love you, hate you, love you, hate you, love you, hate you very much. I see you were there all the time. You were there all the time. That was Rupert Jenkins the Whig. Oh, it says concert on here, concert. I played the piano a year and a half later. So I became Rupert Jenkins. That's what happened to me. I loved him then and I love him now. He's still alive. He lives in North Wales, where I grew up. And he's now, I think, in his late 80s, and he still plays the organ. Sorry, he still does the hymns on Sunday. Sadly, I don't think Ambrose Hammond, the organ, is alive, which you never know with your teachers, though, do you? Look on Facebook, I think, maybe. So I went to Amsterdam, I was in the piano bar, and I was doing a gig there with Madeleine Bell, great singer called Madeleine Bell. We were doing Gay Pride in Amsterdam, and she said, look, after this gig, you're gay, you need to go to one of the gay clubs in Amsterdam. It's full of them. So I went to one, and I ended up talking to a policeman from Ipswich called Graham, and I just thought, this really is not, it's not doing it for me at all. So I went to a jazz club, a place called Cafe Alto, and there was a fantastic trio there, fantastic, and a really shit singer. Now, I'm not one to, it's hard. It's really hard being a musician. It's fantastic, but sometimes it's very difficult and hard, and it's nerve-wracking being up there. So I had a beer, and I never do this. I really don't do it. And the band was so good. I mean, so good. They were so good. And I had another beer, and another beer, and another beer. I started feeling great, and I felt bold. And I said to the pianist in the interval, I said, can I sing with you in the second set? And he looked at me, absolutely horrified, you would. And he said, sorry, we don't have tourists singing. And I just looked at him, and I cannot believe the words that just came soaring out of me from my very core. I just looked at him in the eyes, and I just went, in my bottle of Dutch beer, I've got awards. And I just thought, I told Madeleine Bell, and she said, you've got to write a song about that, honey. And I did. I wrote this song about that experience. It follows the sort of style of Andrew Lloyd Webber, who is currently chained to a lamppost in Charing Cross Road because his fucking awful musical cover. Already you're with me, aren't you, on this one? This could be anything, couldn't it? Kiss today, goodbye. Why do birds suddenly feelings start spreading? Another shit singer is ruining my favorite song. He's two Sinatras in, and something terrible is wrong. He opened up with My Way, now he's slaughtering secret love. He's faced his final highway, old Blue Eyes, velvet glove. The band is in the written key, he's a semitone above. Another shit singer has ruined my secret love. Another shit singer is ballsing up my favorite ballad. His take on Stephen Sondheim feels like ketchup on your salad. I thought I rather liked his tone, but look now, what I mean is, we know that thing is a microphone. Don't behave like it's your... Is this how Sondheim's ballad really sounds? Another shit singer has send in the clowns. Oh God, the next one's cocking up Carole King. As long as there's a hole in her ass, this poor girl should never sing. Oh, the barman started drinking now. He's drowning out his sorrow. They've dimmed the lights. She's asking us, will we still love her tomorrow? You can do backing vocals anytime you like with me tonight, by the way. Will we still love her tomorrow? Will we? night singers, cocked up carol king. Oh, so good people of Bath, listen hard and you will see. Tonight's shit singer is probably me. Memories plastered all over the stage. I slept with the window open last night, and I dreamt. I've probably all slept with the window open last night, and I dreamt of my new fantasy girlfriend, if Priti Patel. And I woke up erect. I woke up. I mean, erect. Bolt upright. And it was such a strange dream. I was convinced that she was on my balcony, and there she was. She was dressed as a fireman, reaching out to rescue a cat from a large plane tree just outside my window. So I arrested her. Priti Patel. I mean, she's having, I suppose you could say, quite the week. She's not happy with suggesting that journalists that embarrass the government go to jail. So well done you, now journalist, you're now a spy. But she's the Mr. Ben, I think, of politics. I think all of us, anyone doesn't know who Mr. Ben is, it's not Tony Benn or his son. Mr. Ben was a little man, little cartoon man, written by a friend of ours, Duncan Lamont. And he was a very normal looking man, a very nice man. He had a very kind of peaceful, happy life, but every day he'd go down the road and there would be a fantasy costume shop, and in he went, and he would choose a costume and he would go through these magic doors and he would be that person. But not for photo opportunities, obviously. And the other Patelism, I suppose you could call it, is that on social media, people love to point out that she has problems with her G's and her N's, achieving, and occasionally her R's. So I wondered what it would be like to put the G's and the N's in the spell check delete box. And like most high office ministers, she doesn't write her own speeches and clearly can't be asked to check them beforehand. And I know a political speechwriter called Colin, or Collie. So it's called the Nationality and Borders Bill. If you put the words "the" with and "bill" together, you've got this kind of instant authoritative thing, or authoritarian thing, and the letter can head to you and land on your mat. And if you get one of those through the post, do you remember the post? Does anyone get post? Yeah, we get post, don't we? I get PCNs in the post with pictures of my naughty little car. Well, if you got one of these, you'd absolutely shit yourself. You know, a right old dressing down in your dressing gown. I just made that up. It works. So the bestiality, OXO cubes and cottage cheese bill summons you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, never mind the border that's being created by Jalopy, Jowls, Johnson, dividing us from them, Ireland, and more of us, Northern Ireland. Priti Patel will be keeping watch, like Farage, only not as pretty, to see a French warship. This is unbelievable, isn't it? A French warship, 54 million quid, never mind the Windrush case is still unopened, and she will be creating better intelligence. Hello! Bonjour, or bonjour, je m'appelle Patel. And, oh look, there's a boat of brown people just like me. Shoo, 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 shoo. Vous must have them back, France. Vous must have them back. Frocks. And if I have them, I'll put them in prison for 14 years. 14 years. Comprehende? France? Shoo, 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 look. I mean, it's like it's like there's a box junction in the channel now, in her mind, isn't it? And it's kind of, I mean, in my head, the Mr. Ben of politics, I see a traffic warden outfit, not the police one where she stood on the roof and went, oh, arrest. Not that one. And I can don a PCN, she'll say, if you enter our waves. Shoo. And then you can imagine the French guy in the back going, why the fuck is she talking about pastry? Even. So what I've done, I've taken this just to send you off to the bar. I've taken the immigration speech that was kind of her maiden thing, and in this speech now, there's little or no respect to the letters N or G, and it's much better. You ready? You don't need this three. Just in case I need some nuance. For too long, for several decades, in fact, Immiratio was a democratic et aut coviace. Ad we, politicias, ad commutators, discussed Immiratio, we inevitably heard a discussio based, e comics ad culture. A crucial principle, which was overlooked, was the principle of democracy. Ad it was see as entirely proper for the British people to cow strongly where we stad. Taxatio, a carry health system, educatio, pensios, interatio, relatios, the evarioti ag law agorta, ag yet causes about immigratio, impact uppo, commuti or control over immigratio. Would be met with derisio ag score. Far too may politicio were ediferetio to public opinio. Either I, the Prime Minister, or our amazi cautri are atai immigratio. Add to those who think I am, they are wrong. I am proud as a Brito, and I eve prouder of my parrots. Add of my agloidia back Rudy, but may are struggling with this cockept. My answer is to met the system. The cockpit of OP Borders is not accessibly, I put an N in there just to sort of, I can't go ot again, accessibly OE. Our asylum system is fundamentally broke. My hads will, lodger, be tied by a broke system. I, cow, these etesios reflect the values, add the wishes of the majority of Brightos. I, cow, what? Our approach immigratio at low last you car fiali gay o air. Thank you. We say we're not like them. Generation ago, we came on the same ships. We were hidden below. We came seeking protection, away from the strife, away from the struggles and the hardships of life. I'm not an incomer. My parents were ghosts, but sir, I was born here, so where would I go? Where would I go? There's ghosts on the motorway. The world is on fire. There's ghosts on the sand flats, and the water gets higher. There's ghosts in the brothel, between thick stony walls. There's ghosts and their children in prison food halls. I'm not an incomer. My parents were ghosts. So I was born here. So where would I go? Where would I go? They bombed my old schoolhouse, a hole in the ground. We needed protection, but there's nothing we found. We all try for better, for centuries gone. Why is that such a mystery? It could go on and on. So what if I'm an incomer? Your parents are ghosts. Sir, I was born there, but where can I go? We say we're not like them. A generation ago, we came on the same ships, but we were hidden below. You're absolutely lovely. See you soon. Have a nice drink. Thank you. I've got so many things, so many new songs, and so many. How long have we got? Excited. Anyone just got married? It's the season, isn't it, I suppose? No. No. Divorced? Somewhere between the two, maybe? This song is... Did you say yes? Oh, no. This song was written by three blokes. It was written in 1928. Thank you very much. In 1928, I think it was written. And it's been recorded over 7,000 times. The first version of it was by Eddie Cantor. And Gus Kahn supplied the lyrics, Walter Donaldson. And it was a dire warning to men about the tender trap of marriage. Bullshit, you know. But I've updated it a little bit just to redress the balance. The first time I heard this song was in a film called Fabulous Baker Boys, and it was Michelle Pfeiffer, and she was languishing over a piano. Do you remember? Languishing over a piano, singing this song. That's how I first heard it. And then I went back and I heard all these other versions of it. This is my version of it. Switch it on, switch it on, switch it on, turn it on. I'm used to a full-length grand piano. By the way, thanks ever so much, Colin, called Colin the Gnome there, for doing amazing sound. Amazing. I feel like we're all in my living room, except it's a bit cleaner. This, not my living room. Yeah. Another bride, another June, another sunny honeymoon, another season, another reason for a lot of shoes, a lot of rice. The groom is nervous, he answers twice. It's really killing that he's so willing to make whoopee. Picture a little love love nest, Haverfordwest, down where the roses cling. Picture that same sweet love nest and think what one whole long year can bring, can bring. He's washing dishes and baby clothes, poo. He's so ambitious, he even sews. Don't you forget, folks, that is what you get, folks. So there's a tiny little fly in my glasses. Hang on. Hello. Oh, I can't kill. Oh, fuck off. Oh, it's so small. Can you see it? Yeah. It's so small, I don't want to hurt him. But if I have my glasses, this is going to be in Welsh. Because I haven't done it. Come on. Oh, sick. Bye-bye. Feelings. Another young man. Whoopee. Another year or maybe less. What is that I hear? Let me tell you, can I guess? She feels neglected, and he is suspected of making whoopee. She sits alone most every night. He don't phone her, he don't even write. She says he's busy. Then she thinks, is he? He's making whoopee. He don't make a lot of money, only 5,000 per. Some judge thinks he's funny, said you gotta give at least 6 of that to her. He says, Judge, suppose I fail. And the judge said, but because he was auditioning for The Voice. Everyone has to do that now. It's like, remember Hilda Baker? Budge into jail. Oh, sorry. You better keep her. I think it's cheaper than making whoopee. That's a really shit ending, isn't it? So I wrote this. Already, you know what's happening. So now the kids, they're grown and gone. She got a little plan she can fall back upon. Rodrigo lives in Pinner, so after dinner she's making a whoopee. The one good thing about a homepage is that the homepage of things that you can cook at home is very good. I get very excited about new dishes, but I didn't do banana bread. Did anybody actually make banana bread in the last 18 months? Yeah. Was it good? Yeah. Why? Good answer. So the one thing I did during lockdown was I cleared out my cupboards in the kitchen in my flat in London. I cleared them out. I've got a very big cupboard in the kitchen, and I thought I better clear them out because I was looking for a bag for life, and there was one at the back, which had been there for half my life probably, and I found a tin of marrow fat peas from 2001. So I was so fucking tempted just to open it up just to see what happens, like the alien. But I didn't. I got rid of them. But then during lockdown, people were saying, you've got to eat more healthily, you've got to eat more. And the thing that I hate the most the food stuff that I just is this. Quinoa. You sneaky little grain. Are you protein? Are you carbohydrate? Clogging up my drain. A million ways to cook you, but you taste the fucking same. No one can say it, can they? Quinoa, quinoa, no. I have a soft spot for quinoa. Quinoa! You cheeky little tart. I need to add extra salt. It tears my soul apart. No need to overdress you. It's unfair, it's uncouth. Add cumin to impress you. You taste like topsoil, that's the truth. Quinoa, quinoa. I have a soft spot for quinoa. Quinoa, you pointless bag of cack. I know you're not as starchy, but I need my brown rice back. I married you to beetroot. I diced and tossed you in squid ink. And pecorini shaved, not sliced. I even juiced you for a drink. Quinoa, I have a soft spot for quinoa. My patience is diminishing. This song for you is finishing. Don't look, I'm spooning pasta from a tin. There's gluten on the menu, deep fried fish, chips, mushy peas, and then quinoa. You will be mercilessly tossed into my pedal bin. My pedal bin. Quinoa, quinoa, cornua. I have a soft spot for quinoa. I'm back to tofu. I have a soft spot for quinoa. I live on the Piccadilly line, so it makes a lot of sense for me to get on at the Bakerloo line, Piccadilly, go to Piccadilly Circus, where there is Whole Foods restaurant and Whole Foods shop, and in there they sell all kinds of things like this, and they know me, because I go in there and I say, I've got so much money to spend. What can you give me? No more quinoa, no more charcoal crisps. What the fuck is that about? You know, eat them, draw something, or shove them up your ass. So I went in there and I said, I can't be doing with any more of this quinoa that you recommended last year during that half an hour that we unlocked. And Oberon at the counter likes to pack everyone else's bags. He said, well, you know what? There's a new superfood in. You're gonna love it. It's the new holy grail of health. I said, what is it? What is it? What is it? He said, give us a K. K. That's my manager, by the way. She knows the routine. Now you know what to do. Give us a K. K. Give us an A. A. Give us an L. A fucking hell. Give me an E. I don't mean give me drugs, by the way. I just mean the... What do you see? It spells... And it's twice as shit. Oh! My parents, when I came down to London, my parents moved into a caravan because my dad lost a lot of money because he was originally a great musician. Well, he was always a great musician. But his lip went because he had to have all his teeth out because of some gum disease thing. So the last kind of 10 years of his life, he couldn't play his trumpet, his cornet. So they moved into he had a removal business, which was hilarious when we were kids because we lived in this big, sort of rambling old house. We hated it. My sister and I certainly in the mid to late 70s, we wanted a house like all the posh kids at school, with a house that had walls that met, and sort of edges and aquariums and big windows. Not the house that we lived in, which my bedroom was on the top floor, which was the floor that oddly wasn't the warmest floor in the winter. So it was like you could see your breath and you could draw on the window and things. And I had a terrible problem with, how can I put it? I wet the bed. I wet the bed until I was 40. No, I'm not 46. I wet the bed. I wet the bed. I had psychology, school, therapists, everything. Bells. We had a bell installed, which like a clanging old-fashioned school bell, which was in the landing, and it was attached to a metal plate underneath my top sheet. And as soon as, a smidgen of wee-wee landed on that metal plate, the bell rang. And it woke the whole house, the whole of the lane, and I slept on. So that was rubbish. But my lovely parents, who were on the floor beneath. What I used to do when I was very young, I sort of panicked sometimes because I was scared of going down the stairs for some reason. I thought, I've got to stay on this. So if I go downstairs, it's really dark down there, and there's only a landing light on at the top, and I can see my breath, and I need a wee. So what I used to do, I used to go to the landing, quite a big landing, and I used to think, no one's going to notice, so I just got my willy out, and I just sprinkled all over. Go back to bed, and I thought, that was easy. Spread it round. For years, my parents, we had a cat put down. Let's just, I'm not kidding. Whiskey. Her bladder's it's not what it used to be. She's been going upstairs now. And I used to think, oh God. I've killed my own kin, And anyway, my parents were so lovely. Sometimes I would do a double wet. And the first wet was easy. So Mum would come, Mum, I've wet the bed. And I could hear her coming up the stairs, downstairs, and she'd very methodically get and take my trousers off and mop me down. And then there was no kind of real washing. It was just like a damp thing around the bits. And then she'd put a new sheet on and tuck me in. And then 10 minutes later, I pissed the bed again. Sometimes, not always. And the double wet was really weird because then she came up silent, completely silent, was her way with dealing with the stress of this awful situation. And I don't know what it was really. I'd like to think that it was a very deep-rooted problem, but it wasn't. It was just like I was scared of going to the toilet downstairs, and probably it got to the point where I just couldn't be bothered, and I just thought, I might as well go here. And then for the first kind of 30 seconds of wet in the bed, it's gorgeous because it's warm and it's lovely, and you do. Anyway, so what then would happen would my mother in the morning, no time for a bath, no time for anything, so she'd just you remember in the 70s, everything was nylon. Everything was nylon. You would turn over in bed and there'd be a firework display. Everything I wore between probably 1970, let's say, 75 and 77 was nylon. I had a nylon bow tie, ping, I had a nylon shirt. I had nylon shorts with built-in underpants. So that was useful, especially with the bedwetting thing. But it was like a freezer bag because they were sealed. Everything was sealed. Back to the Facebook page, I suppose, but a long time ago. So in the morning, my mum would, bless her heart, she'd just come up and I'd get dressed. She'd get dressed and we'll sort you out. And she'd just get the shorts at the back, jog, baby, talcum powder down the back, ping, back I go, front, digga, 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 digga. That was fine until I was 25. No. That was fine until one morning I went to the dreaded sports hall and the headmaster, who was called Mr. Baker, he spotted me coming and I was late. It was about 10 minutes late. Everyone was singing, and Jenkins, the wig, was up there, giving it his all. And I was late. So I ran into the hall and I said, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I'm late. And I just saw his hand. And I said, no, God, no, do not smack my ass. Do not. And he went, whack! And I just disappeared in this cloud of powder, never to be seen again. But we used to go on great holidays, mostly to Blackpool, in fact only to Blackpool. My dad had real estate in Blackpool. He had a 2-berth caravan. We were 4. Didn't matter. This is called Blackpool, 1975. Books, crisps, and light up brollies, clowns and lips stained red from lollies. Mrs. Evans made the toast, one caravan over, Sunday roast. Baby is crying, Bowie on the radio, red kite flying, sixpence on the rodeo. Rain beats hard on the Blackpool sands. Look, our parents are still holding hands. But the sun will be shining Friday. Your granddad's up by 4. Gonna make the Thursday my day. My dad, when we went on holiday, he said 2 things that he never said, ever, the rest of the year. Number 1 was when we were walking, probably on the second day, and we got fish and chips. We were walking, and he'd just turn around to me, very sort of, again, quite a sinister face, and he'd say, "We'll sleep tonight." And the other thing he did was, my mum, in the caravan, she used to get a co-op bag, and she used to hang it over the handle of the main door of the caravan, and it was my job, or my sister's job, or my job, or my sister's job, or my job, or my sister's job. We used to count the rota as the week went on. Was to take the rubbish out at the end of the day or in the morning. And my dad used to say, he used to open the sausage, those horrible sausage on the little baby belling, and put in there. And my dad used to say, "Put that over there, and then eat your dinner, and then remember, your mother's got a bin going on the caravan door." A bin going on the caravan door. That's not even English, is it? So, gonna make this Thursday my day, and your mother's got a bin going caravan door. Cilla Black's at the Tower Theatre, Craig and Tracy, Jill and Peter. God, she looks so shiny on the stage. We're busy shoving pennies. There's a snake in a golden cage. Snogging, logging goalies in the bubbly pack. George Best looks so handsome in his anorak. The sun is up, the rides are high. There's a cartoon cloud in a cowboy sky, and we'll all be drunk by Friday. There'll be dinky cars on the floor, and the sun is squinting at the Blackpool Tower. And your mother's got a bin going on the caravan door. Your mother's got a bin going on the caravan door. Thank you. Thank you very much. I moved to Kent, oh gosh, 22 years ago, South Coast. I've still got a little place in London because of work and things. Oh wow, not that much work at the moment, but it's dribbling in, as my dad used to say. It'll dribble in. And a good mate of ours. Oh, by the way, big thanks to Nick for inviting me to do this gig. It's just lovely being here. After I did all the piano bar work, I just ended up on the comedy circuit. I was kind of the bit of music, and bit by bit I introduced more and more comedy. And then I just thought, not that funny. And I'm not that edgy, so I'm going to go into jazz. And then I ended up doing more comedy in the jazz gigs than I did at the comedy gigs. But I met some fantastic people in that comedy circuit who've all remained really good friends. They're all a bit older than me, maybe 2-3 years older than me. Joe Brand, Mark Steele, Mark Thomas, and Julian Clary. And Julian Clary and I, we've known each other for a long time. We've done lots of gigs together. We still do gigs together. He is so nice and so funny. And I moved to Kent. Paul O'Grady moved just up the road. And then Julian Clary came down. So like this kind of terrible trilogy of gay horror, all living like that in the same kind of square mile almost. And Julian bought the house of Noel Coward. He bought Noel Coward's house, and he lived there for, I think, 11 years. He sold it now. He sold it to Neil Tennant, the Pet Shop Boys, which really pissed Paul O'Grady off. Paul O'Grady said, "Fucking Neil Tennant, I'll show him where all the fucking bodies are buried." I toured with, years and years ago, I toured with Paul when he was Lily Savage, and I played Jason Elvis Savage, the son of Lily Savage, the Stockwell arsonist. It was it was a fun tour. It was called A Spoonful of Savage, and it was a kind of pantomime with all sorts of music. Gail Tuesday, do you remember Gail Tuesday? Was one of the guests, Jenny Eclair. It was just fun, and I got to dance and sing, and the worst and the best gig we did was I think we did 2 weeks, or maybe even 3 weeks, at the Theatre Royal in Brighton, which is beautiful, old crumbling, gorgeous sort of Victorian theatre, and we stayed in this awful hotel called the Beacon Royal. They thought, everyone in this show is a homosexual. We'll put them in a gay hotel. And it was the last thing we needed. All the doors were slightly ajar at night. And Paul O'Grady renamed it the Twitching Towel. So after the technical, which was quite a technical show, I think it was the first time really, well, certainly the first time that Paul had flown. So he was Mary Poppins, so the first thing you saw with his feet at the top of the stage, get me down from here, get me fucking down from here! And my parents came to it about 42 times, they loved it. And in the bar, after this really long technical rehearsal, there was just Paul in the corner nursing this massive, huge, great big brandy. You know, he's quite tetchy, and I love him. And I said, is your room damp? And he went, Ian, damp? There's a family of fucking otters moved into the wardrobe. Anyway, so Julian bought this house. I bought a little cottage because I was the poorest of the trio. And Paul still lives in a farm there. Fucking nail tech, fucking boring. And Julian has moved on. But when Julian was in the house, he did an interview for the Folkestone Gazette, which isn't the kind of periodical that you immediately run to buy. Well, you don't buy it because it's free. I did it as well. And there was a thing there called Kent Lives. Paul did it, I did it, Paul Merton did it, Jim did it, what's his name? Vic and Vic, he's called Jim. He did it, who else did it? People that lived in Kent did it that were vaguely known, you know, vaguely show-busy. And the young intern who interviewed Julian's a lovely, lovely human. He is kind, but he doesn't take any nonsense, but he's kind. And she phoned him at home and she said, oh, hello, Mr. Clary. Hi, my name is Lucy, and I'll be doing the interview for... And he went, that's nice, that's lovely. What would you like to know? And she said, well, where do you live? And he said, well, I'm not about to give you my address, but suffice to say, I live in Noel Coward's old house. She reported it as an old council house. Which is the like camp comedian and novelist Julian lives in an old council house just at the bottom of the M20. But so the Noel Coward Society used to come to the house probably once a year. They were very peculiar people. You know, this genius, Noel Coward. Genius. I mean, oh, God, I wish I'd... You know that whole thing, your ideal dinner guests around the table? Definitely Noel Coward. And my dad to say sorry. But Noel Coward, definitely. And this is a song, I'm going to dedicate this to my lovely friend Ian Bellamy, who is a legendary saxophonist. Are you here, Ian? Yeah, that's it, lovely. I'm staying with him tomorrow night. Yes! We've done an album together called What's New, which is an album of songs inspired by his dad and the love that his dad had for his mum. And he's here tonight with his brilliant wife, Ali. And this is for you. The chords are wrong, but the lyrics are not. So this is a song that, to my shame, I don't even know what it's from. It might be from Dinner at 8, or it might be from... I can't remember. Somebody will Google it, but it's a... It's from a review written by the brilliant Noel Coward, and doubtless Joyce Carey would be in it. Doubtless the Luntz would be in it, and absolutely doubtless someone like Gertrude Lawrence would be in it. Anyway, these are the verses that no one has really heard. There are 17 verses to this song. So, thanks to the Noel Coward Society, I got my greedy little hands on these words. And in it, there are 4 characters, including Noel himself. Mad about the boy. I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but must admit the sleepless nights I've had about the boy. Mad about the boy. It's pretty funny, but I'm mad about the boy. He has a gay appeal that makes me feel there's maybe something sad about the boy. Lord knows I'm not a fool, girl. I really shouldn't care. Lord knows I'm not a schoolgirl in the flurry of a first affair. Will it ever cloy this odd diversity of misery and joy? I'm feeling quite insane and young again. It's all because I'm mad about the boy. Mad about the boy. I know it's potty, but I'm mad about the boy. He sets me heart on fire with such desire. In fact, I've got it bad about the boy. When I do his rooms, I see his face in all me brushes and me brooms. Last week I strained me back and got the sack and had a row with me dad about the boy. I finished with Navarro. I'm done with Richard Dix. I'm pierced by Cupid's arrow every Wednesday from 4:10 to 6:15. Oh, I should enjoy to let him treat me like a plaything or a toy. I would give me all to him, I'd crawl to him, so help me God, I'm mad about the boy. Mad about the boy. I know it's silly, but I'm mad about the boy. And even Dr. Freud cannot explain the vexing, silly dreams I've had about the boy. When I told my wife, she said, "I've never heard such nonsense in my life." Her lack of sympathy embarrassed me and made me frankly glad about the boy. My doctor can't advise me. He'd help me if he could. 3 times he tried to psychoanalyze me, but it's just no good, no good. People I employ have the impertinence to call me Myrna Loy. I rise above it, frankly love it, 'cause I'm absolutely mad about the boy, mad about about the boy. I'm mad about the boy. Have any of you got teenage kids? Or did any of you remember when you had teenage boys, lads? Yeah. Everything fine? Still? Right. I got a nephew. He's brilliant. He's going to be a politician. He's fantastic. He's called Robert, and I love him very much. He's 24 now. But when he was 16, he came down to stay with me in London. He's also gay, which is lovely, really. You know, weird Uncle Ian. He, like a lot of lads, you know, he went through, well, let's just be honest, he won't mind me telling you this. On his first day of university, he was, his dad, my brother-in-law, bought him a second-hand Mini, you know, to kind of thing to get him around. And he was so panicky about everything the night before, he got very, very drunk. He stole his older brother, my other nephew's jacket, took the money out and the car keys of his car and crashed his elder brother's car into a wall, and it made the front pages of the Clwyd Observer. So that's my little nephew, who's not little anymore, he's 24. But anyway, he came to stay in London, and he had his mate with him, and they were in my front room, sitting on sofa, and they had an iPad, and they were looking at their iPads. And I said, what are you doing? What are you both doing at exactly the same time? I was kind of keen, you know, bringing in the Domino pizzas and Uncle Ian, you know, weird Uncle Ian. And I said, we're just chatting. I said, what? Chatting? What, to each other or to other people? And he said, well, mostly to each other, but, you know, a little bit of both. And I said, what are you chatting on? And Rob said, well, quite a lot of stuff, really. You know, there's all sorts of things going on now, Ian, that you need to learn, you know, so get a fucking computer, you silly, weird old gay uncle. And I said, what's this language that you're using? I peered over his shoulder, and it was all acronym. It was completely mystifying to me then. I know everything now. You have to, in a way. So I wrote this song. This is for my little nephew. He's not my little nephew anymore, but it's for anyone that's ever been troubled or mesmerized, mystified, or absolutely enchanted by their children, especially their children online, because it's going to be fine, we hope. It's called Boys Online. Not a great thing to Google. So it is on my YouTube channel live from the Edinburgh Festival when I wrote it, but don't Google Boys Online, because sort of follows the style of Stephen Sondheim, not Andrew Lloyd Webber. If you don't understand anything in this song, just know that neither really do I. I didn't then, and I don't really now. But this is word for word, like the Facebook adverts telling me to sharpen up my undergarments. This is word for word. HWU, hey, what's up? See what I mean? Brother. AITR, adult in the room. HO, hang on. M8, mate, send. K, okay. BS. Now, BS is bullshit, isn't it? It's not really. Back soon. HWU, hey, what's up? L, loser. OMFG, oh my fucking god. Smiley, send. HO, hang on. DW, don't worry. Got hot broadcast before I go nod. Sitting on our laptops chatting shit. Crap book, Facebook, Vine, she's fit. Ducks, nuts, Jabberwocky, Voob, Spled, Dink. Then your mother comes in with a biscuit and a drink. a biscuit and a drink. You get the picture. It's not a pretty ending, this, by the way. M-O-S-G, mum over shoulder gone. She's got boss sweater yams tits, L-O-L. S-T-F-U, shut the fuck up. That's my mother, you douchebag, L-M-A-O. L-L-A-B, laughing like a bitch now, L-M-T-Y, laughing more than you. I guess more competition. T-T-U-L, talk to you later, best one ever. H-2-G-T-P, gotta go poo. Turd emoticon, sitting at a laptop's cam to cam. So I fucked that up. Sitting at a laptop's cam to cam. Fwackata, Fujita, gigabyte spam. Bounce box, grab shot, wiggy tail dink. Then your mother comes in, your mother comes in, your mother comes in with a biscuit and a drink. G-O-T-C, Game of Thrones, crap tonight, C-T-F-D, calm the fuck down. W-A-F-M, wait a fucking minute, W-A-F-C, what a fucking clown. G-G-O-H, gotta get out of here, Y-Y-M-8, are you gay? W-T-G-D, wanna go private, what? Y-Y-M-8, are you gay? You're gay, you're gay, you're gay, you're gay. I'm not, you are, you are, you are, I will be. Sitting at a laptop, 7 a.m. Cyberdoc, Twitter feed, fuck pile whim. Got a holiday gallery, she's well fit. Then me mother comes in with your football kit. Sitting at the laptop's 10 past 8. Not enough time to masturbate. Unfriend, unfollow, unlike, unblock. Crack one off in your football sock. There are 47 more verses, bear with. Open up iPads on the 149. Check out if that girl is online. Getting into FaceTime, CTC, BBM, Splog, Birch, MP3. Right swipe, left swipe, Tinder, tilt. Facebook now. There's a picture of your mother with a bloke in a kilt. Thank you so much. You've been fantastic, thank you. There's a lot of new stuff here for me, as you probably realised. This is what happens with this, and it sort of changes day by day. Again, a huge thank you to this wonderful festival, and especially everyone's made me feel so welcome. It's brilliant to be back doing what I really love doing, and I just need to practice more. You're brilliant. This is a song. What I did during lockdown was I did a podcast, because the world needs another fucking podcast from a middle-aged man, right? But I did one, and it's called Not Even Music, and there are 2 series of it, and it's a memoir, and also the next series has guests in it now, and I've lined up some brilliant people. Marcella Detroit, who used to be in Shakespeare's Sister, Julian Clary is doing one. Hopefully Rory Bremner, my wonderful friend Hayden Gwynn, who's an actress on tour at the moment. So have a look and do subscribe. It's called Not Even Music. And I'll see you very, very soon. I'll do this song, and then I'll do a Vegas exit, and then if you want another one, I'll come back. This is a song that I wrote about my brother who predeceased me. He was a baby, and he was called Gareth, and the memory of him kind of hung over our family in a good way, and also a sort of bad way, I suppose. We never talked. He was called the first baby, and I wrote this song, imagining how brilliant it would have been for me had I had an older brother. I've got a younger sister, and that's fine. That's all I need. But I don't know. Anyway. This is for all of us, because it's about families, and whatever happens in the family it's kind of fine, really. Although sometimes it's very difficult. It's called My Brother. Thank you. My brother, my brother, my brother would have kept a close watch. Explained the unknown, played a bass trombone in a marching band. My brother, my brother, my brother could have married the nurse, could have played in the church. I watched him carefully find his sweetheart's hand. My brother was strong from our father's side. His back was straight and long, and when my father cried, 'cause he couldn't understand what I couldn't say, my brother was there for us all anyway. My brother, my brother, my brother would have bought me a beer. In a New York bar he said, "Ian, you've gone too far, try to be the better one." My brother, my brother, my brother left a message for me. He said he'd left his wife to be free. We're not all perfect, you see, my brother and me. My brother was tall from our father's side, too tall to tumble and fall. And when my father died, he gathered us in like birds in a nest. He did what he could, 'cause brothers do their best. My brother, my brother, my brother left a message for me. He left his land to be free. I said, we're not all perfect, you see, my brother and me. My brother, my brother, my brother would have married the nurse. I could have played in the church, watched him carefully find his sweetheart's hand. My brother was strong from our father's side. His back was straight and long, and when my brother died, who'll gather us in like birds in a nest? I guess that's me, 'cause brothers do their best. You're never alone, we're so sorry. Thank you very much. Good night. Somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, you're just like Elton John." I said, I'm not cranky, for a start, and I'm not rich. But, oh, what a talent. And this song, which was written by Elton and Bernie, such a long time ago, I love it. I just love this song. It's kind of pertinent for so many reasons. I'm a patron of 2 refugee charities. I feel very passionate about how badly we treat refugees in this country. It's disgusting what we do, disgusting. You know, and we're also the only country in Europe that detains indefinitely. We're the only one. And if you don't know that, then now you do. And you can write to your MP. And what's going on at the moment is just awful. It's horrible. I spent a whole year at the Calais jungle camp, and I saw things that mustn't happen to women with kids in sub-Saharan towns and cities and in the countryside whose husbands have been shot in front of them, who are now HIV positive because they've ended up in Libya, where where they had to work for a man of the city or a man of the town, and they were raped. Just awful, just awful. And the guys that you say, oh yes, that one's 25 and that one's 26. Whatever. We all need to get on in our lives, and we all look for better things for ourselves and our families. That's how I personally think about it. I respect anyone who thinks differently. I totally do. But I can't ever do any gig without telling everyone that I'm gay, because I was arrested for that when I was very young, and about telling people how I feel about refugees. I hope you don't mind. Thank you. But this, you got to sing along with me with this one, because there's a line in this song that it's one of those classic things, like in Scaramouche, Scaramouche, will you do the burn down? There's loads of lyrics in that song. You think, what the hell is he saying? My thing was, Beelzebub wants a devil for a sideboard. My mum could never get it was before Google and before you could, Google lyrics. My mum used to sing, you don't have to say you love me just because because it's just be close at hand, which is sheer poetry. So in this one, there is a line. It's written by Elton John, and there's a fantastic version by a friend of mine who is a refugee, who's written a book about it, and he did the most beautiful animation for this song. And if you download it, you can put a £5 in or a £1 even, and all the money goes to kids with HIV. It's a fantastic project. He's called Berus, and this is the song and Elton John just loved the video. It's had millions of hits now. It's a great song, but there's a line. I just want to hear you mess up this line to know that it's not just me. Thank you again, and good night. Here we go. She packed my... the real other reason why I'm doing this song is because have you seen the news about space and about that brilliant woman that went into space? Come on, yes. Brilliant. I got very excited about that. It was the only decent thing on the news this week, really. She packed my bags last night pre-flight. 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much, I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space on such a timeless flight. COVID secure, COVID secure, COVID secure. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown. Yeah, that's right. I'm not the man they think they am at all. No, not just me on this bit. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Yes, not a clue, right? Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. Or Godalming. In fact, it is cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them. This is the worst bit of rhyming in any popular song. Listen. I'm going to take you through this again. No one's perfect. Bernie Taupin, Elton John, whatever. Fucking hell, find a rhyme. There's only 2 verses. Jesus. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids. In fact, it's cold as hell. And there's no one there to raise them. If you did. Right. Well, the pub's open. And all this science, I don't understand. It's just my job, 5 days a week. I'm a rocket man. I'm a rocket man. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man they think I am at all. Ooh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. You Googled, you bastards. You fucking Googled. Like the bloody Treorchy male voice choir down there. You Googled. You've ruined my big ending now, so I'm going to have to do Kate Bush instead. Out on the wily, windy moors, we run and fall in shit. You're the timber, like my jealousy, two hearts too greedy. It's uncanny, isn't it? It's uncanny. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time till touchdown brings me round again to find I'm not the man you think I am at all. Oh, no, no, no. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man, burning up his fuse up here alone. Good night, thank you.